The next year, Srila Prabhupada came back, and we were very enthusiastic to receive him because we've been worshiping Radha and Krishna for 1 year now, so we had new outfits and the temple was repainted. We actually had a marathon going on. And part of our marathon, to collect funds for renovating everything for Prabhupada's arrival, we would go into the metros, the underground, and we would distribute, we had a little pamphlet on chanting Hare Krishna, something like that. And it was a competition. Bhagavan said, a competition. The first 2 persons who win the marathon, they'll get to bathe Prabhupada's feet. So myself and we'd go in when it was dark. We'd go in the early morning, just get up and chant our rounds. We'd go into the metro. We'd come out at night, 11 o'clock at night. For 1 month, I didn't see the light of the sun. For 1 month, we'd sleep, on the chairs in the metro if we were tired. We'd eat down there, and we'd just going. And I was sleeping maybe 3 or 4 hours a night for 1 month. I wanted so much to wash Prabhupada's feet, because I'd heard the dust of the lotus feet, the water that washes those feet, the remnants of his prasadam are very conducive for advancing in Krishna consciousness. I was determined, beg, borrow, steal, I'm going to get that mercy. So me and Vagarva, my godbrother, we were like a team. We were going on, and we won that marathon. So we went out a few extra days, and we distributed many pamphlets, small books. We went out and we got extra big bowl for silver for washing Prabhupada's feet, extra big pitcher, because we had a plan. So Prabhupada came that year, and it was a big reception at Orly Airport, and we brought Prabhupada to the temple, and myself and Bhagarbo, we'd had our big silver bowl and our pitcher filled with warm water and rose water and petals. And then Prabhupada came in. He saw the deities, and he sat down to receive the Guru Puja. And I put the bowl there. Bhagarba started pouring the water, and I was Prabhupada's feet like this. I was thinking, wow, this is the perfection of my life. Touching the feet of a pure devotee. We gathered all that water. It was big thing, liters, water, Charnamrita. And then our plan. So the kirtan was raging. So I said, okay, 1, 2, 3, let's go. So we took that bowl, and I was carrying it. We ran upstairs, and I had the key to the president's office in my pocket. And some of the brahmacharis, they figured out what we were doing. So there was like this group of brahmacharis following us up to, because usually you take that water and you throw it on everybody's head like this, and give some. No, we wanted every drop of that. So we ran upstairs to the first floor and ran into the office. I turned and slammed the door just in time and locked that door. And boom, 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 you could hear the brahmacharis piling into the door, and they were banging, "We want the nectar, we want the nectar." So we sat down. We each had a cup, brand new cup in our pocket. We took our cups out, and we sat down. We were at the door behind us, and brahmacharis were at the door like this, I said to Bhagarba, "Do you feel something?" He said, no. Yeah, me either, nothing to worry about. I said, let me do the honors. So I took that cup and I put it in the Charnamrita. And then I gave it to Bhagarba, and I put my cup in like that. And then we cheers. We began drinking very slowly. I savored every drop. And I was just remembering that, the water that washes the lotus feet of a pure devotee, the water of the spiritual masters, there's so much mercy there. And I was drinking we took our time. And the kirtan was still going downstairs, and we just kept drinking and drinking. And I don't know how 2 young men could drink that much water, that much Charnamrita. It was a lot. We just kept drinking. And there was a couple drops left at the end, so I said, separately, I took that last drop, he took that drop there, and we sat back. Oh. I think that's probably the reason I'm still in the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. We got that mercy. So then I took the key and I opened the door. About 20 brahmacharis just piling. They were actually tumbling in because they didn't expect the door to open. They pummeled. They all got up. "Where's the mercy? Where's the Charnamrita?" I'm still sitting there. I said to Bhagarva, I said, "The mercy?" He said, "What are they talking about?" I said, I don't know. We still have our cups in our hand against the door. And the boys said, Charnamrita, you took all the Charnamrita. Oh, Charnamrita, sorry boys. Hare Krishna. Beg, borrow, steal, you gotta get the mercy. Well then Bhagavan came and said, what are you all doing up here? Nothing, we're just coming back down. I said, I'll be down there in a minute, I have to use the toilet. So we came down and the lecture there. And then Prabhupada, he was sitting there, and then after the kirtan, so he took his kartals and he started chanting, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhan. Hearing Prabhupada sing about the spiritual world, about Radha and Krishna, Giri Govardhan, Jamuna, everything around us just stopped. We were just mesmerized by this, entering into the spiritual world through Prabhupada's transcendental sound vibration. Prabhupada was looking at Radha Parasishwara. And then suddenly, Prabhupada started shaking. Oh, Kunja Biha, like this. I thought, oh no, Prabhupada's sick. Something's happening. Kunja Biha. And he stopped. And I was sitting just this far away from Prabhupada, right in front of the Vyasa-san. And I noticed Prabhupada's eyes just welled up with tears. They just all of a sudden overflowed with tears, and they were flowing like this. Like we hear, O Govinda, feeling your separation, I'm considering a moment to be like 12 years. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain. So it wasn't just some little tear. They were flowing like this. And I was sitting there looking at Srila Prabhupada, and I was thinking, wow, here I am in the material world, and Prabhupada's in the spiritual world. He's in Vrindavan. And by his causeless mercy, I'm getting a glimpse of what it's like to be in Vrindavan, to have love for Radha and Krishna. And that's another impression which is, forever etched within my heart, like they say, lines etched in stone. Just remembering that, it convinced me so much. If there's anything that convinced me about Krishna consciousness, it was just seeing the symptoms of love manifested. I couldn't understand it. It's still far beyond me. But I'm convinced just from that one incident of Prabhupada shedding tears of love. And then he stopped. He opened his eyes, he said, chant Hare Krishna. So we started chanting again. And then Prabhupada gave his very short lecture, and then he went upstairs. We were in Geneva. And Prabhupada came, and after the reception, we came upstairs. And Guru Gauranga had purchased 2 bars of Swiss chocolate, light and dark. So he gave them to me, and he said, when Prabhupada comes up, ask Srila Prabhupada if he'd like some chocolate, because Swiss chocolate's the best chocolate. So I said, okay. And then Prabhupada came in his room, and we came and paid our obeisances, and Prabhupada was saying, kind of getting funny about the room, where's what in this. And I said, oh, Srila Prabhupada, we have some chocolate for you. He said, oh. I said, Guru Gauranga, he says that the Swiss chocolate's the best chocolate. I said, oh, so I'll try some. So I opened up the light one, and I broke a little piece, and I get ready. Prabhupada took it, he tasted it, he said, very good. And he said, and what? He pointed to the other, I said, and that? I said, this is a different, because this is dark chocolate, but it's maybe a little bitter. He said, no, we try. Took a, gave it to Prabhupada, he said, all right, Hare Krishna. Another time Prabhupada came to Paris, my traveling Sankirtan party was in the island of Corsica, in the Mediterranean, a French island. We were distributing books there. And Prabhupada came quite suddenly. I think he was ill in England, and Bhagavan went over to beg Prabhupada to come, and he spoke so nicely about the activities that were going on in France. Many books had been published and were being distributed, and the deity worship was going very nice. He didn't want to, pressure Prabhupada, but he just wanted to know he wanted Prabhupada to know how much the devotees were, how intensely they were serving, and how much they loved him. So then Bhagavan walked out of the room, and Prabhupada turned to one of his secretaries. He said, all right, we will go. He said, Bhagavan is the supreme controller.